Assalamualaikum, ini ada Pak Budi Rudianto ya, dari UNAN.
Waalaikumsalam. Sehat, Prof.
Aduh, nuwun sudah, Alhamdulillah, matur nuwun sudah gabung.
Alhamdulillah. Pas lagi free nih. Nah,
Alhamdulillah. Oke.
ada mata kuliah khusus keuangan syariah, matematika.
Eh, ada di sini itu ekonomi syariah.
Oh, kita ada matematika keuangan, tapi terus ada
Oh,
bagiannya itu keuangan syariah.
iya iya. Di
Iya.
sini juga ada matematika keuangan ini.
Oh,
Ini
iya.
ada Bu Galuh, masuk nggak ini ya, yang ngajar biasanya?
Nanti bisa sharing lah yang
Hmm,
saya
sip, Insya
kalau belajar sama jenengan ya, nanti.
Oh, enggak lah. Ini
Ada
jenengan
pohon
lebih
jambu
ahli
tadi.
mengenai itu. Apa?
Ada pohon jambu di ruangan.
Ah iya betul makanya sampai putih semua kejatuhan bunganya.
Masya Allah.
Oke.
Monggo, salam kenal semuanya. Ada guru kita Pak Suar Supri ya.
Oke.
Oh, iya. Sungkem, sungkem. Izin saya mau tinggal.
Oke.
Attention to all the participants. Our agenda will be starting in 2 minutes. And for today's agenda, I would like to remind all participants to change your Zoom name to institution underscore name. For example, ITS underscore Denisa. Also, don't forget to turn on your camera and change your background to our virtual background that you can access to link that will be given in the Zoom chat meeting room. Virtual background that you can access to link that will be given in the Zoom chat meeting room. Virtual background that you can access to link that will be given in the Zoom chat meeting room. Virtual background that you can access to link that will be given in the Zoom chat meeting room. Virtual background that you can access to link that will be given in the Zoom chat meeting room. Morning, everyone. I would like to say thank you and welcome to all of audience in our international lecture, various episode that will be given in the Today's guest lecture. We started with singing Indonesian national anthem and ITS anthem, followed by an opening remark from head of Actuarial Science Department. And for the guest lecture agenda will take place shortly after the opening remark. Audience in our audience, the honorable Secretary and President given in the today's guest lecture of ITS and Dr. Muhammad Abdu from University Brunei Darussalam as our speaker, and all the audience of today's class lecture. I am Denisa Anelda from Actuarial Science as your Master of Ceremony for this session. Once again, I would like to say welcome to International Class Lecture Series Episode 6 on today, Friday, 15th of December 2023. To begin this agenda, let's sing Indonesian national anthem, Indonesian Raya. For all the audience, you may take a comfortable seat and please pay attention to your master our national anthem for this session. Once again, I would like to say welcome to International Class Lecture, Series episode 6 on today, Friday, 15th of December 2023. To begin this agenda, let's sing Indonesian national anthem, Indonesian Raya. For all the audience, you may take a comfortable seat and please pay attention to your master our national anthem for this session. Once again, I would like to say welcome to International Class Lecture, Series episode 6 on today, Friday, 15th of December.
Indonesia tanah air, raja-raja, di sanalah aku berdiri di kandungimu. Indonesia bangsa dan tanah air. Indonesia bersama jiwanya bangunlah yang ku cinta, ibu yang luhur di selamatlah kokoh kepemimpinan-Mu membina putra-putrimu. Menuntut teknologi yang canggih, berbudi agung dan cerdas, menuju kesejahteraan bangsa dan umat manusia. Bahwa tentukan ku turut pimpinan-Mu, jadi pejuang yang takkan kenal letih dan bangun negeri. Hidup Indonesia, tanah batiku
Privat!
Okay, let's move on to our following agenda. The following agenda is the opening remark from the Head of Cultural Department, ITS, to Dr. Andeswa Jupri, Magister SE. The time is yours.
Sambutan sekarang Pak Tok ya. Baik, terima kasih semuanya. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Alhamdulillah, for the peace and blessing of our Ta'ala, we meet in this 6 guest lecture series. Prayer and greeting to the Prophet Muhammad SAW, his family, friend, and followers. Dear Mr. Dr. Muhammad Abduh from University of Brunei Darussalam, Mr. and Mrs. lecturer at Department of Applied Science at the ITS, and theme today is Sharia economy. We hope that this guest lecture and all participants, hopefully all participants will always be healthy, protected, and blessing by Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala. Amin. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam.
Thank you, Mr. Suarjudi, for the amazing opening remarks. And for all the audience, once again, I would like to remind you to turn on your camera and use the virtual background that you can access from the Zoom meeting chat room. And I would also to remind you for the Q&A session that will be carried later on, please use the raise hand feature first on your Zoom meeting, and then you may deliver your questions after being allowed by moderator. Okay, everyone. Without further ado, I would like to introduce you to our theme for today's guest lecture. It is about Sharia economic practice in insurance and investment risk, which will be delivered by our speaker, Dr. Muhammad Abdul. And for this session, it will be conducted by Ms. Aimatul Majidia as our moderator. And now, I would like to greet our moderator for today. Hello, Ms. Papa. Can you hear me?
Okay, Mbak Denisa, thank you. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Okay, good morning, everyone. Welcome to the Internet episode 5 by Department of Actuarial Science, Institute Teknologi 10 November. Okay, our topic for this guest lecture is Sharia economic practice in insurance and investment. My name is Aimatul Al-Hajriya, and I'm going to be your moderator for today's session. All right, at first, I will give a brief introduction of our guest speaker. After that, we have an head filled with insightful presentation and discussion about Sharia economic practice in insurance and investment risks. And at the end, I will give a conclusion about the presentation. Okay, before we begin, I like to remind to pay attention to the presentation, and all the participants feel free to ask questions. If you have a question, you can ask your question during the question and answer session after the presentation ends by raising your hand, or you can type your question at the chat box. All right. Our guest lecturer for today, who is already with us. Our guest lecturer today is Dr. Muhammad Abdu from University Brunei Darussalam. And I would like to greet Dr. Muhammad Abdu first. Assalamualaikum, Dr. Muhammad Abdu.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Okay, how are you,
Alhamdulillah.
Prof? Okay,
Alhamdulillah.
Alhamdulillah. Okay, Alhamdulillah. I would like to give a short biography about Dr. Muhammad Abdu. I will Okay, everyone can help me to share screen. All right, it is the short biography about Professor Dr. Muhammad Abdu. Okay, he is senior assistant professor. Okay, our guest lecturer today is Professor Dr. Muhammad Abdu. He is senior assistant professor at School of Business and Economic, University Brunei Darussalam. He was born in Jakarta, Indonesia. He had joined the Department of Statistics Institute Pertanian Bogor. He obtained a full scholarship program from the National Zakat Council of Indonesia to pursue his Magister Hukum Islam, specializing in Fikih Muamalat. He was invited to join economic program in 2007 and the Doctor of Philosophy in Islamic Banking and Finance in 2009. From the International Islamic University, Malaysia. And he is listed currently as a lecturer at University Brunei Darussalam. He is the coordinator for the Master Islamic Finance program under the Department of Accounting and Finance. A lot of publication, I noticed that more than 150. His research specialization is Islamic finance, Islamic banking, econometric, and statistical information. Okay, I will hand it over to Professor Dr. Muhammad Abdu. Okay, hello, Prof.
Yeah,
Now time is yours.
okay, inshallah.
You have around 60 minutes to deliver your lecture or your presentation.
Mhm.
So welcome, Prof. Dr. Muhammad Abdu.
Okay.
Please, are you going to present your PowerPoint by yourself?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay, thank you. Time is yours.
Okay. Wait, yeah. Okay. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Thank you very much for inviting me to share a bit of my 2 cents, my understandings with regard to insurance, Islamic insurance, particularly. So, but before I start, I would like to convey my um, gratitude to Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala, and also salawat and salam to the Prophet Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, his family, companions, and all the um, um, Muslimin wal Muslimat, and also to the head of department and all the academic staff colleagues attending these sessions. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Again, thank you very much for inviting me. So, before we start, I think I just want to remind you that in Brunei, the Zuhur time is 12:15. So, I hope that by 11:30 we can finish these sessions, because then I still have 45 minutes to prepare for Jummah prayer, inshallah, in Brunei. All right, so the topic for today is about the Islamic insurance in investment risk. Yeah, this is not basic what we call in-depth discussions in terms of the technical tools and whatnot with regard to investment risk and insurance, but more towards the concepts, history, development, and way forward. Yeah. All right. So, just a little bit introductions. My name is Muhammad Abdul. So I graduated from Sekolah Dasar Negeri 07, SMP 103, SMU 39 semuanya di Jakarta Timur. Right, and then I also completed my bachelor degree in statistics from IPB University, and then Magister Hukum Islam specializing in fiqh muamalat in 2006 from University Ibn Khaldun, and then 2009 Master of Economics from IIUM, International Islamic University Malaysia, and then 2012 graduated from PhD program in Islamic Banking and Finance from the same university, and hopefully by 2025, currently I just completed my first year for the bachelor degree in psychology. I still ongoing, inshallah, doing it fully online from the UNITA, Malaysia. And then life as an academic, so 2001, 2003, assistant dosen, Statistika IPB, 2004, 2006, dosen statistics, Sekolah Tinggi Ekonomi Islam Tazkiyah, and that basically the first meeting for, me and the Islamic economics and finance world. Okay, when I joined Tazkiyah as a lecturer, and then I met Ustaz Shafi Antonio, and then obtained scholarship from Basnas. Everything happened in 2004 actually. And then 2009, part-time lecturer, IIUM. Once I completed my master degree, I was offered as a part-time lecturer. And then 2012, assistant professor at IIUM. And 2015, I joined UBD, University of Darussalam, now as an associate professor in the area of Islamic finance. As for research and publications, overall more than 150 documents in Google, but then for the Scopus and ABDC index, it's only like 30 documents with 8H index. Few awards and recognitions, and then publishers I have worked with like Springer, Wiley and Sons. I have textbook published by Wiley and Sons in New Jersey, and currently being used by many universities worldwide, entitled Fundamental of Islamic Money and Capital Markets. And then Paragraph Macmillan, Emerald, Elsevier, and other publishers. All right, so that's a bit a little bit background about myself. All right, now we talk about insurance. Okay, so this is basically the basic about insurance. Definitions: a contract between policyholder and insurer stating consequences of losses are transferred and expresses insurance promises to pay for the consequences. Yeah. So what happened in insurance is that, number one, transfer of risk from policyholders to insurance operator. So the policyholders, they pay monthly premium to transfer the risk. The insurer, they get paid for assuming the risk and promise to pay for losses in the future. Insurance indemnifies policyholders of a divine loss in exchange for premium payments. Yeah? What happens secondly is insure against pure risk. So insurance, in general, they only insure against pure risk. Okay, predictable, measurable, spreadable over large geographic area, and depend on law of large numbers. And they're using highly statistics and actuarial science. And since this is the program from Department of Actuarial Science, I think you all know about what you call the basics of insurance. Yeah, I have also browsed just this morning. I browsed your website, and I found that it was quite interesting to see the modules or the courses that you are offering to the students. I was thinking like, I wish I can join your program. Really interested in studying the actuarial science, because during my study as a Department of Statistics students is purely statistics. Yeah, only like option module is like economics and macroeconomics, microeconomics, yeah, and whatnot. And then the third characteristic is that insurance do not cover speculative risk. Okay, so uncertain prospect of financial gain or losses. Though we heard about what happened during the global financial crisis 2007, 2008 due to subprime mortgage. Okay, that's basically speculative risk. So the biggest insurance company in the world is against the rules of insurance. Yeah, the AIG at the time. Yeah, by gambling in the speculative risk. Okay, and we know the end of the story. Yeah, and then do not cover general business failure. Okay, so insurance as business with profit maximization objectives. Yeah. So as a normal business entity, so the fundamental objective of insurance is to maximize profit. Okay, is basically maximizing the shareholders' wealth. Okay, and you cannot deny that. Yeah. So what the insurance company do is basically maximizing the profit. Yeah. So through the underwriting process or the underwriting surplus, UWS, which is equivalent to total premium minus total claims paid out. Okay, and of course, insurer hopes to maximize UWS, and then total claims that will be certain extent left to uncontrollable factors. Yeah, so the total ada ilinya sama yang lain pada jalan-jalan. Yeah, okay. Thank you so much. All right, so the total claims to a certain extent is left to uncontrollable factors because no insurance company in this world knows what is basically the total claims will be, yeah, in the future. So that insurer hopes for chance profit. Yeah, basically positive what you call output of the total premium minus total claims paid out. Okay, and this is just a two example of my research on insurance company, particularly Takaful company, yeah, dynamic financial model of life insurance and Takaful, and also economic and market predictors of solvency of family Takaful in Malaysia. So this basically done with my students, my master students in Malaysia in 2016 and 17. Yeah. So yeah, one of the output, and normally I rarely get students, but once I got students, normally that's a good students because I always impose my students, if you want to be under my supervisions, then the output is a publication. Yeah. So yeah, we managed to publish this when we study about the takaful practices in Malaysia. Yeah. Right, so these are the basics of insurance, which I believe all of you already know about this. So now we are moving on to the why conventional insurance is not Sharia compliant, right? So it was started in 1975 when OIC FIC Council announced that conventional insurance is not Sharia compliance. Okay, and in 1985, the council approved that the takaful model proposed at the time as the alternative. Of course, along the way until today, we have so many development of Islamic insurance, where in other countries they just call it takaful. Yeah. So there are certain reasons why it is not Sharia compliance. Okay, number one, the element of interest or riba. Okay, they are charging and receiving of interest, especially in their investment side. Okay, so money being exchanged with money in buying and selling contract. So this is part of the riba al-fadl. Yeah, it's basically you pay for 50,000 for 500 million, for example, or 500 dollars, yeah, for example. Yeah. So, and then beneficiary will get promised return and accumulated interest. Okay. Number two, investment in interest-bearing securities. As a conventional insurance doing, they don't really put attentions on which what you call part of industry that they will park their money on. Yeah, which is basically is that the interest-bearing securities or non-interest-bearing securities. They don't really put attentions on that. So, and mostly it is the interest-bearing securities. Why? Because it is a promised profit. Yeah. And of course, the objective is to maximizing the shareholders' wealth. Yeah, so that's basically the first thing what you call addressed by the OIC FIC councils when they're saying that why it is not Sharia compliant. The second element is the element of gambling, excessive risk-taking, and speculation. The insurer is gambling that total premiums collected greater than the total claims, thus producing underwriting surplus. Yeah, and total claim is predominantly affected by chance, hope for chance of profit, and profit on one side depending on loss of the other. Okay, so this is part of the main characteristic of gambling, which is public loss, private gain, where a profit of one side, it depends on the loss of the other side, right? So this is the one of the main characteristic of gambling. So when I used to give lecture in the masjid here in Brunei, and they always saying that, oh, it is gambling, it's a gambling. So I says that one of the way of recognizing one activity is gambling or not, when you see we call public loss, private gain. Okay, the profit of one side depends on the loss of the other sides. Yeah. All right. So that was the second element. The third element of uncertainty or gharar, yeah, uncertainties and misleading terms in the contract. Okay, so of course, one may argue that there are certain gharar that is allowed. Yeah, gharar is divided into two: gharar yasir and gharar fahish. Gharar yasir is basically mild gharar, is gharar ringan, yeah, and gharar fahish is basically the a significant gharar is basically is a highly speculated, not speculated, but gharar that is created by intention. Okay, so and what is what we see in conventional insurance, gharar yasir is gharar that is embedded, yeah, on the things. Like for example, when we buy eggs, yeah, ketika membeli telur, we are basically not buying the what we call the the casing, the kulit telur, ya. So ketika membeli telur, sebetulnya kan kita tidak membeli kulitnya, ya, tetapi kita tidak diizinkan membuka telurnya, karena kalau dibuka telurnya di warung nanti tidak lagi jadi telur, ya. Nah, sebetulnya ini gharar, disebut dengan gharar yasir, ya. Tapi karena apa? Karena gharar which is embedded, we cannot avoid, yeah, we cannot avoid the situation. So if you want to buy egg, then we buy with the casing, ya, dengan kulitnya, dengan cangkangnya, ya. Kalau nanti di rumah jadi telur yang berbau, yang tidak bisa dimasak, itu sudah resiko, ya. Tetapi dalam hal ini ghararnya adalah gharar yasir, sama seperti membeli rumah. Membeli rumah sebetulnya ada unsur gharar, yaitu pondasinya. Kita tidak tahu berapa dalam pondasi rumahnya, tapi kalau kita gali pondasinya malah merusak rumah, ya. Oleh sebab itu orang biasanya membeli rumah tidak digali pondasinya berapa dalam. Itu sebenarnya gharar, part of gharar, tapi gharar yasir, gharar yang memang embedded, sudah tidak bisa disingkirkan, ya, dia memang menempel di situ. Tapi ada gharar yang sengaja dibuat-buat. Contohnya adalah seperti pada conventional insurance. Ya, number one is uncertainty in subject matter. What policyholder is buying for or paying for? Yeah, is it because the money paying $50 to get $500? Is it because of the case? Yeah, is it because of the events in the future, which is is uncertain? We don't know whether it will happen or not. Yeah, and then if no loss occur, assuming that there is no loss occur, then the policyholder receives nothing. Yeah. If loss occurs, yeah, in fact, if a loss occurs, policyholders get compensation, but then it is not necessarily the same amount as stipulated in the contract. Yeah? The compensation provided in varying amount. Yeah? So this number one, uncertainty in subject matter. Number two is uncertainty in price, like rights and liabilities of parties contingent upon the outcome. Yeah, insurer uncertain about actual amount to be paid out. Policyholder uncertain about how much to be received. So this is about the uncertainty. And because of that, the OIC Fiqh Academy in 1975 says that conventional insurance is not Sharia compliance. It is an aleatory contract. So conventional insurance contract is aleatory. It's basically the output depends on the output of another events. So maybe I believe you all understand about the Bayesian probability. Probability A given B. So the value of A is given B, depends on what happened to B first. So they have to be waiting first. And then, hence, insurance contract contains uncertainty since unsure if a claim will occur and what the compensation amount will be. So this is what we call the conclusions by the OIC Fiqh Academy, which later on followed by many countries, including Indonesia, through the fatwa of Dewan Syariah Nasional of Majelis Ulama Indonesia. So now going to Islamic insurance. In Arabic, insurance is called at-ta'min. The insurer is called mu'ammin, and the insured is called mu'amman lahu or musta'min. So the word at-ta'min derived from the word amanna, which means giving protection, security, and free from fear. As Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala said, "Alladzi at'amahum min ju' wa amanahum min khawf," who provides them with food against hunger and security against fear. Sorry. Right. So the story of insurance in Islam. So Islam basically not against insurance. Why? Because in the Arab tribes, even before the Prophet Muhammad SAW, there was I call a traditions among the Arabs called al-aqid. So the history of insurance existed in the history of Islam, and it's called al-aqilah. As quoted in the one hadith, two women from the tribe of Huzail was fighting. One of them threw stone and killed the other woman with the baby inside her womb. The case was then brought into the Prophet Muhammad SAW, and he then decided that for the baby killed, the family of the killer must free a slave, either male or female slave. And for the woman killed, the family of the killer must pay diyat, the blood money. So the main idea of the Aqilah is that every tribe in Arabs must be financially well prepared in order to pay the diyat on behalf of the killer to the heirs of the killed at any time, because the fight between two persons or more can be happen at any time, among the tribes at the moment. So this kind of preparation is similar to premium paid in insurance, and the compensation paid is similar to the amount paid by the insurance company to those who claim it. So the what we call the original story of the current practice of insurance is existed also in the history of Islam. All right. So therefore, it is not against the insurance concept, but it is against the practices that have been practiced by the conventional insurance. All right. Okay. All right. So, in the Islamic insurance, so it relies on the tabarruk contract, which is the concept of what we call a charity, alms, or donation. Therefore, tabarruk means voluntarily giving of one person to another, which resulted in the transfer of ownership from the giver to the receiver. So in practice, Islamic jurists had defined tabarruk as a contract which resulted in the transfer of ownership of wealth voluntarily from one to another. Therefore, the contract of tabarruk is not restricted in insurance per se or for commercial purposes. It includes all types of contract which were intended for ta'awun or to help other people or fi sabilillah. Like Prophet Muhammad SAW says in one of the hadiths, a Muslim is a brother for another Muslim, so he should not oppress him. Whoever fulfills the need of his brother, Allah will fulfill his needs. Basically, whoever fulfills the needs of his brother in this dunya, Allah will fulfill his needs in the akhirah. Whoever removes the troubles of his brother in this dunya, Allah will remove one of his troubles of the day on the day of judgment. And whoever covers up the fault of a believer, Allah will cover up his fault in the day of judgment. Yeah. So this is the basically the concept, yeah, of insurance from the Islamic perspective or the Islamic principles. Yeah. So remember here that Islam does not against the insurance itself, but the practices. Yeah? So why? Because as we understand that in the muamalat area, yeah, the rule in Islam is that everything is permissible until we find evidence that against it. Yeah. Al-aslu fil asya al-ibaha hatta yadula dalil ala tahrim. So until we find evidence that it's against it, means that it is not about the concept of insurance. Yeah? It is about the practice where we can find riba, interest, we can find gharar, uncertainty, and we can find gambling activities. Yeah? All right, so the Islamic basis of takaful is basically Al-Quran, Hadith, and legal maxim. Yeah, so the Al-Quran, of course, ta'awanu alal birri wa taqwa wa la ta'awanu alal ismi wal udwan. Help one another in furthering virtue and God consciousness, and do not help one another in furthering evil and enmity. Also, encouragement to assist one another in good cause, yeah, like tawassaw bil haq, tawassaw bis sabr. Yeah, so basically Al-Quran already provide the basis of the Islamic the insurance practices. Yeah, and then ta'awun, mutual help in furthering good virtue by helping others who are in need or hardship. And also the akilah, yeah, the history as we also already discussed earlier. In Al-Hadith, the Prophet ﷺ saw a person leaving a camel in the jungle, yeah, tie the camel, then submit to the will of God, is basically importance of risk mitigation. Yeah, so Islam also recognize risk mitigation techniques as long as it is not we call against any Sharia or Islamic principles. Then any tools, yeah, used for risk mitigation techniques is basically permissible. Yeah, in one of the what you call one of the moment that I attended, they mentioned about the Islamic IT, Islamic mathematics, which I don't think there is Islamic IT or Islamic mathematics. Is a tools. Yeah, mathematics is a tools. IT is a tools. Yeah, it's like a knife. It depends who is holding it. Yeah, so it means that any tools that you use for the risk mitigations, as long as it is intended for goodwill, then it should be fine. Yeah, and then Islamic illegal maxims ad-darura yuzalun. Yeah, is basically to eliminate harms. Yeah, but if the damage has occurred, then we should put efforts to remove it. Yeah, so that is basically Islamic basis of the takaful. Yeah, which is Islamic insurance. Yeah. All right. So then how does the Islamic insurance work? Yeah? What I'm trying to share with you here is the basic model of takaful. Yeah. At the moment, we have many models like wakalah model, mudarabah model, and whatnot. But once you understand the basic, I don't think that it will be difficult for you to understand the what we call various model under takaful or Islamic insurance. Yeah. So this, for example, the takaful participants contribute to a takaful fund based on the concept of mutual assistance. Yeah, so these are the takaful participants. And then contribution is done via reciprocal or mutual donations, tabarru'ats, and does not represent a commercial sale of coverage. Yeah. So they contribute via unilateral contract, tabarru'ats. They agree that whoever members that falls under the unfortunate situations which has been stipulated on the contract, then they are willingly, without being noticed again, they are willingly to basically donate the collected fund or the pool fund to those members. And then takaful entails a unilateral charitable contract in contrast with conventional insurance, which is a bilateral exchange contract or muawadats. And then gharar is non-existent in such a charitable unilateral contract. Because in this case, there is no gharar because number one, they don't, basically the contract is clear that it is tabaru'at contract. Okay, whereby in conventional insurance, it is not clear. Are you buying money, for example? Are you buying money for an event in the future? So it is unclear. So gharar exists in conventional contract. But in Islamic contract, once we Islamic insurance, once we enter the contract says that I am donating the fund under this contract, and then agreed that if any members falls under unfortunate situation which has been stipulated in the contract, then they are willing to donate the fund. All right. So what about the prohibited elements? Okay, as I mentioned earlier, number one, gharar, uncertainty is non-existent, either in price of subject matter, unilateral contract to contribute, there is no commercial sale, or commercial contract. What about the maisir? Okay, return to takaful operator, not a result of a gamble, or what we call a highly speculated investment scheme, rather from charging a fee to manage the takaful fund. This is number one, because the pool fund is not belong to the company. Okay, the pool fund still belong to the participants and share in profits of the invested takaful fund. Okay. And riba, no element of interest. Why? Number one, there is no exchange money to money, or money for money. Number two, takaful funds invest in Sharia compliant investment scheme only. Therefore, they avoid riba. All right. So, therefore, what distinguish between Islamic and conventional insurance? So the establishment of two separate funds. Okay. And number one is the establishment of two separate funds. So two separate funds consist of the takaful fund and the operators fund. So they are separate. The takaful funds operates under pure cooperative principles in a very similar way to conventional mutual insurance entities. Management expenses and seed capital are borne by the operators fund, where the main income takes the form of either predefined management fee or a share of investment returns and underwriting results. So by establishing two separate funds, they basically know from where their income for the takaful operators, and also the participants also knows that how much is the profit that their pool funds are basically obtaining. Okay. Number two is solidarity principle and equal surplus distributions. So this is a second factor that distinguish between Islamic and conventional insurance. So given the fact that the takaful fund is seen as a pool of risk managed under solidarity principles, it is not meant to accumulate surpluses at levels excessively higher than those strictly needed to protect the fund from volatile results and to support further growth. Likewise, any fees or profit shares received by the operator should be just sufficient to cover management and capital costs while keeping the company running as an ongoing concern. So the management fees that they impose to the participants should not be excessive compared to the normal practice of insurance company. In case of financial distress for the takaful fund, the operator committed to provide it with an interest-free loan or Qarul Hasan for however long it is deemed necessary, providing an additional layer of financial security to the participants. Now, the surplus distribution structure expected to be managed carefully and in a balanced way so that neither policyholders, no operator make excessive profits at the expense of the other party. Yeah, because the what you call the sympathy or empathetic feeling must be put up front before they are trying to exploited the funds get from the participants. Yeah. And then factor number 3 is restricted investment. Sharia compliance refers to not only the operational structure of the company, but also to its investment policy. Yeah. Therefore, if in the future you find that any Islamic insurance company investing their pool fund in a non-Sharia compliance listed stocks, for example, then they have to be reported to the authority, yeah, which is under the what you call the regulatory institutions. Yeah, takaful companies must avoid investing in traditional fixed income securities due to the coupon interest payment attached. Instead, they are allowed to invest in sukuk. Yeah. Moreover, investment in stocks should avoid activities such as alcohol, gambling, and whatnot. Yeah. The fourth factor is the establishment of a Sharia board. So an essential component in takaful companies' corporate governance is the establishment of a Sharia board in addition to the conventional board of directors. It is made up of recognized Islamic scholars normally who ensure the company's operational model, profit distribution policies, product design, and investment guidelines comply with Islamic principles. So in this case, basically the DSN of MUI already have the standard operational procedures on how to select and basically choose the what we call that Sharia advisors or Sharia officers for every Islamic financial institutions, including Islamic insurance. So that distinguish between the Islamic insurance and conventional insurance, whereby conventional insurance, they have only normal conventional board of directors, whereby in Islamic insurance, on top of the conventional board of directors, they also have the Sharia board. Yeah. Right, so this is the simple table just to distinguish between takaful and conventional insurance. I believe I think I saw that Islamic insurance in ITS offered in semester 7 or semester 8, if not mistaken, which is year 4. Yeah, so if any year 4 attending this webinar, I think you all understand about this. But before that, before maybe year 1, year 2, year 3, okay, this is something which is new. So I will just try to explain briefly. The difference between takaful and conventional insurance. Takaful is based on mutual cooperation, whereby conventional insurance based on solely on commercial factors. Yeah. Okay, so mutual cooperations because the contract is tabarruk, yeah, the charity contract, okay, whereby the conventional insurance is solely you pay premium in order to get something. This is basically like a buying and selling, yeah. Buying 50,000 by paying $50, for example, yeah. And then takaful is free from interest, gambling, and uncertainty, whereby conventional insurance includes elements of interest, gambling, and uncertainty, as explained earlier. All or part of the contribution paid by the participant is the donations to the takaful fund, which helps other participants by providing protections against potential risks. So for conventional insurance, the premium is paid to conventional insurance companies and is owned by them in exchange for bearing all expected risks. So for conventional insurance, the moment you pay to the insurer, yeah, to the operator, then basically those money belong to them. Whereby in takaful, it is not. It is still belong to the participants and the takaful operator only managing the fund. Takaful companies subject to the governing law as well as Sharia supervisory board whereby conventional insurance companies only subject to the governing laws. Yeah, so there's no issue of Sharia for conventional insurance. They can do whatever they want to do as long as not against the positive law, yeah, in that jurisdictions. Whereby takaful or Islamic insurance, positive law plus the Islamic law. There is a full segregation between the participants of takaful fund account and the shareholders account. In conventional insurance, premium paid by the policyholder considered as income to the company belong, yeah, to the shareholders. Yeah. Right? And then any surplus for takaful fund shared among participants only. Yeah. And the investment profits distributed among participants and shareholders on the basis of either mudaraba or wakala models. As I told you earlier that in terms of the takaful model, there are few proposals by many academics and takaful practitioners. Yeah? And you can one of among those who are famous is a mudaraba and wakala models. Yeah. And in fact, this mudaraba and wakala model are the two models implemented in Brunei markets. Yeah, the country where I reside today. Yeah. And then conventional insurance, our surpluses and profits belong to the shareholders only. Yeah. So, and then in case of the deficit of participants takaful fund, the takaful operator called wakil provides free interest loan to the participants. Yeah. In conventional insurance, in case of deficit, the conventional insurance company covers the risk. Yeah. All right. And then for takaful, the plan owners and shareholders' capital is invested in investment fund that are Sharia compliant. For conventional insurance, no need to observe about the Sharia compliancy of any investment scheme. And then takaful companies have reinsured with takaful companies or with conventional reinsurance companies that adhere to certain condition of Sharia. If there is no Islamic takaful companies, then the scholar says that they are allowed to do the reinsurance, yeah, their products, everything to the conventional one with certain what you call that, rules and regulation for the Sharia for the Islamic insurance. Yeah. Whereby conventional insurance companies do not necessarily have reinsurance with reinsurance companies that abide with Sharia principles. They just need to go to, they can go to any reinsurance company. Yeah. Whereby takaful can only go to the takaful companies, except when there is no takaful companies in the country. Yeah. All right, so that was the simple concepts of insurance, Islamic insurance, and now and the history of Islamic insurance. And now we shall go to the current development of Islamic insurance. Yeah. So over the past 12-year period from 2011 to 2022, because today is 2023, right? So the report the most updated is to 2022. The industry has grown at the compound average growth rate of 6.4%. Yeah. In fact, the global takaful industry recorded a year-on-year contributions growth of 16.1% in 2022. Yeah. Far exceeding the annual growth of 5.4% in 2021. So from 2020 to 2021, the growth only 5.4, but from 2021 to 2022, the growth is 16.1%. Yeah. So one of the main reason is because nowadays, even if we go traveling, if you go schools, for example, like our children here, when they go to school here in Brunei, they must get insurance, right? So even for sekolah dasar, sekolah menengah, every individual they got insured by insurance company. Yeah. So I think especially after COVID-19, so the growth is even higher than 2021 to 2020 2021. The industry growth prospect remains healthy across many countries, and the uptake of takaful product is expected to increase again, given the rising risk awareness in the post-COVID-19 era and the implementation of mandatory covers for health business lines in many jurisdictions, which constitutes the core takaful markets. And the takaful sector in the Southeast Asia region generated a total of 5.9 billion, or almost 6 billion in 2022, which represents 7.5% growth compared to the estimate of the prior year. Malaysia, Indonesia, and Brunei are the constituent countries in the region. And this is the share of takaful sector's business relative to insurance sector, in their own respective countries. Like in Saudi Arabia means 100% Sharia compliance insurance company, so they don't have conventional insurance. Iran also don't have conventional insurance. Sudan, they don't have conventional insurance. In Brunei, however, yes, 35% of Islamic insurance, and the remaining 65 is the conventional insurance. And Indonesia is 4% only, very small markets, which also indicates there is a big chance, big possibility, big opportunity for actuarial science students. Once you are graduating, you can enter this market, which I believe will grow further in the following years. So Indonesia is only 4%, not even 5%. All right, and this is the takaful contribution growth rate by the country. Indonesia contributing 0.24 to the global markets, for takaful. All right, so where do we go now from here? So the future challenges Islamic insurance. Okay, I also check the statistic for actuarial sciences graduates, the salary rates, starting from 4 million, 7 million, up to 50 millions rupiah per month. Well, that is basically a big market for actuarial science students, because as we know earlier that the market share in Indonesia is still 4%, below 5%. So means there's a big possibility and opportunity to grow. However, these are the 4 things that we need to do in order to grow Islamic insurance in the future. Number 1 is regulatory harmonization. Developing a harmonized regulatory environment that accommodates the unique features of takaful while ensuring robust consumer protection and financial stability is crucial. Regulatory harmonizations within the country, within the region, and globally. Of course, this is a very big effort that needs to be put upon the table to create these regulatory harmonizations. And then product development and innovation. Creating more sophisticated products that are not only Sharia compliant, but also cater to the diverse and sophisticated needs of modern consumers. So what the consumers needs. So in this case, I think your survey skill, statistic skills can be very much useful in order to do maybe simply marketing research survey on their customer preferences. What do they need? Traveling insurance, blah blah blah. So that's basically part of the what you can do in the future as the actual science students. And then number 3 is human capital development. And this is what you all can play basically. So the industry faces a talent gap, which can be addressed through dedicated educational and training programs. I was also surprised and quite happy when I see that one of the specializations that is offered in actual science department of ITS is basically Islamic insurance, which is very good. And I think you need to add not only one module for Islamic insurance, but it can be maybe 2 or 3, so that it can strengthen their understanding and of the students with regard to Islamic insurance. Maybe adding some more about regulatory and other aspects. And then number 4 is public awareness and market penetrations. And this is very important. Yeah? I once met a person that wrote the first proposal of BIMB, Bank Islam Malaysia Berhad, the first Islamic bank in this region, yeah, and then the second Islamic banks, and I think the third Islamic bank in the world, yeah, BIMB, Pak Mus, he's Malaysian. He also helped Indonesia in settling up the bank muamalats, yeah, and other banks, Islamic banks in the region, yeah. So he says that Islamic finance, including Islamic insurance, relies solely on the markets. Yeah, how can we make the markets more aware about these products? Okay, because most of the markets, yeah, the peoples in these regions, if we conduct survey, they're still basically not aware about Islamic finance products, including Islamic insurance. Yeah. So public awareness and market penetrations involve not only marketing efforts, but also educating consumers about the distinctive features and ethical foundations of takaful. So this is, I think, 4 future challenges of Islamic insurance, which I believe one of you, if not all of you, will answer in the future. Yeah, the actual science ITS students. Right, so this is an issue about Islamic insurance and sustainable green environment. This is what is very important nowadays. Yeah, the global issues other than the the war between Israel and the Palestinian people. So Islamic insurance and sustainable green environment. Yeah. So Takaful operates on a model of mutual assistance and risk sharing. So this is the underlying model. Yeah, inherently encouraging socially responsible investment, yeah, including those in sustainable and eco-friendly projects. So the pool fund, yeah, basically invested in sustainable green environment type of schemes, yeah. By prioritizing investments in renewable energy, sustainable agriculture, and green technologies, Takaful not only ensures adherence to Sharia principles, which forbid investment in harmful industries, but also at the same time actively contributes to the environmental conservation and fight against climate change. Now, this alignment with sustainable practices not only fulfills the ethical obligations of Islamic finance, of Islamic insurance, but also addresses the growing global demand for environmentally responsible financial products, thus playing a significant role in promoting a more sustainable and greener future. So this is basically one of the big roles that Islamic insurance can play globally. Yeah. So with that, I ended my sessions, and I hope you guys can understand. If there is any queries that you want to address me, I think you are most welcome to do that. And I do apologize for all mistaken I've done during these sessions. Bilai Taufik, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh, and still good morning, yeah, to all of you. Thank you so much.
Okay, thank you very much, Professor Dr. Abdul, for your knowledge and insight. Right, everyone, we have just heard some thought-provoking insight from our speaker. I'm sure all of the participants has learned a lot from you today, Professor Dr. Muhammad Abdul.
I hope so. I mean,
and now we move on to the next session. That is a question and answer session. Okay, for all the participants, if you have any question, please raise your hand and use your microphone, or you maybe can text your question in the Okay, is there any question? from the participant?
Kalau student yang hadir tahun berapa aja, Bu? Tahun 1, 2, 3, 4 ya? Semua ya?
Iya Pak, ada beberapa tahun 1, 2, 3, dan 4.
Mungkin yang
Oke,
udah dengar
apakah ada?
baru tahun keempat ya? Islamic Insurance baru di
Maaf
offer
Pak.
semester 7 kan ya?
Iya, semester berapa Pak Ato?
Kalau di webnya itu kalau nggak salah semester 7 kayaknya. Jadi
Oh,
kayaknya semester 1 sampai semester 6 belum belum ini kayaknya ya. Islamic Insurance.
iya Pak. Oke, silakan teman-teman, barangkali ada pertanyaan. Jangan ragu untuk bertanya.
Oh, yang nanya Pak dosennya nih. Ini bagaimana Bu?
Ya.
Dijawab terus atau dijawab langsung atau tunggu dulu?
Iya, silahkan Pak. Mungkin bisa dijawab terlebih dahulu untuk pertanyaan pertama ini.
Oke,
What do you think? Oke, silakan Pak.
Oke, thank you very much, Pak Dr. Ato ya, Mas Ato saya panggilnya because he is my senior both in IPB and in Malaysia. So, what do you think about the future of Sharia economics in Indonesia? Yeah, I think this is not my personal opinion. I also read from many experts. Even I got when I discussed personally with one of the most prominent Islamic finance scholars today, like Professor Dato Azmi Umar, yeah, the former DG, Director General of IRTI in Saudi, and Abu Umar Farouk, as well as the Ishaq Bati from La Trobe University, Australia, when we had a chance to discuss about which country is basically will lead the development of Islamic finance and Islamic economics in the future, they unanimously answer Indonesia. So Indonesia is one of the most promising country to lead the development of Islamic economics and finance in the world. Yes, we have Malaysia as one of the biggest industry of Islamic finance, but in fact, Professor Kamil Mira from Malaysia also says that I don't see any significant development in Malaysia at the moment, but there is in Indonesia. So thanks to KNEKS, ya, Komite Nasional Ekonomi dan Keuangan Syariah, who of course work very hard, yeah, under the current vice president, yeah, work very hard in terms of number one, of course, improving public awareness, yeah, and then market penetration for Islamic economics and finance in Indonesia. Before KNEKS, yeah, there is not much effort in terms of improving the public awareness about Islamic economic finance. But after that, is so much effort put on the table by the people at KNEKS there, and I personally appreciate, and not only me, Mas Ato, yeah, I mean most of the professors that I met during the conference, they anonymously say that we're looking forward Indonesia to lead the development of Islamic economics and finance, and I think from our side, yeah, we don't basically waste their trust, yeah, through the actuarial science program of ITS. You can basically contribute a lot, yeah. I was always wondering that Indonesia has one of the best statistician, if I may say, statistic department in the region. But compared to Malaysia in terms of research publication in international quality journals is slightly less than Malaysia. So through the actuarial science program in ITS, I think if Bapak Ketua Jurusan and Bapak Dr. Atok juga, if you can impose students to write in English for their thesis, final year project, and then put in a journal article format, I think Indonesia, particularly ITS, you can lead the the publications in terms of Islamic insurance, Islamic actual science applied for insurance. Actual science applied for Islamic insurance. Yeah. So I think the answer is inshallah, Mas Ato. I am very confident that Indonesia can lead the development of Islamic economics and finance in the near future, inshallah. There's another questions.
Okay, thank you, Professor Muhammad Abdu. The second question is from Danang Teguh Koyumi. How Islamic insurance control the individual assessment on risks, for example, in life insurance giving benefit on the person death? The policyholder may put the benefit much higher than their economic value of their life. Can it be considered as gharar in this method?
Okay, mashallah. This is from Pak Danang, how Islamic insurance control the individual assessment on risk. For example, in life insurance giving benefit on the person's death, the policyholders may put the benefit much higher than the economic value of their life. Can it be considered as can it be considered as gharar in this matter? Well, this is very hard because number one, I have a limited knowledge in terms of giving fatwa, so I need to refer again to the opinion.
Bagus batiknya.
Of,
Kamu kok selalu punya batik-batik yang bagus sih, Mas?
Okay. Okay, all right. Thank you. Yeah. So for Mr. Danang, I think I may give temporary answer, but it may not be correct. Okay. So for life insurance, so this is something which is very the Sharia scholar has debated, according to my understanding, according to my reading, they have debated with regard to life insurance. Should we insure against a person's life or not? Okay, but for those who are what we call against, they put the reason because we cannot what do we call that, go against the faith from Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala. But those who proponent supporting this view, of course they will say that it is free from all these three elements, because the thing is that if they follow the Al-Aqilah history just now, they say that it is in line with the what I call that, the objective of the Al-Aqilah. Is it that Al-Aqilah, someone is killed by another one, whereby and the tribe has to pay the diyah to another tribe. Like in this case, in our case, for example, one of the members passed away, right? And then the tribe provide the allocated fund agreed by by the people with regard to the amount, and then give it to the family. So it's basically two opinions from the scholars with regard to that. Okay, so in the case of you know in this case I don't have any preferable positions whether against or not against the life insurance, but then in my opinion I will follow those who basically allow it to what you call for the life insurance. So means that can it be considered as gharar in this matter? So it is not gharar in this matter. Wallahu alam bisawab, but I think my opinion can be wrong. So we can read further with regard to this issue. Thank you very much Pak Danang ya. Terima kasih banyak Pak Danang. Okay.
Okay. Okay, maybe one or two question again from the participant. Oke, silakan Muhammad Arif.
Oke, Miss Uma Fajriya. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Prof, I want to ask you about tabarruk funds. In Islamic insurance, there is tabarruk funds. Is the percentage of portion of tabarruk funds that has value of less than 1% is reasonable or not?
Can you repeat? Sorry,
I'm sorry. Wait. Is the percentage portion of tabarruk funds that has a value of less than 1% is reasonable or not, Mister?
The percentage of 1%
Less than 1% of tabarruk funds.
of tabarruk fund.
Yeah, is reasonable or not in real practically gitu.
Okay. I don't think I get the question clearly. Can you give me the story or the background, anything about the questions?
Okay, I want to use bahasa Indonesia.
Ya.
Oke. Jadi saya memiliki penelitian tentang persentase porsi tabarruk. Itu dalam beberapa jurnal itu terdapat persentase dari porsi dana tabarruknya itu kurang dari bahkan mencapai 0,2%. Itu apakah masuk akal gitu dalam secara praktiknya kalau persentase dana tabarruk itu kurang dari 1% gitu. Terima kasih, Pak.
Oke. Jadi sebetulnya kalau perhitungan ini sebenarnya nggak jauh beda dengan kalau misalnya dengan conventional insurance ya, kalau proses underwritingnya, karena tetap saja dia menggunakan sistem the law of large numbers. Jadi sebetulnya kalau berapa percentage yang paling sesuai, dia akan mengikut berapa participants yang akan dia boleh prediksi akan join di program tersebut gitu. Kalau misalnya dia bisa prediksi banyak yang ikut, ya mungkin 1% itu cukup, sisanya mungkin untuk investasikan di tempat yang sesuai syariah compliance sehingga menghasilkan profit bagi si takaful operatornya gitu. Jadi sebetulnya kalau kalau dalam pandangan company-nya, dalam pandangan si operatornya misalnya, dia optimis nih bahwa dia bisa mencapai target partisipan sesuai yang ditetapkan di rapat board of director misalnya atau rapat apa gitu ya. Mereka optimis dan sudah menentukan sebesar itulah porsi tabaruknya, dan mereka juga kan kalau dalam actual science juga bisa dikalkulasikan kira-kira kejadian ini akan misalnya berapa orang yang akan ngeklaim misalnya gitu ya dari peristiwa yang jadi sebetulnya itu semua bukan ditentukan misalnya sesuai keinginan satu orang, tapi berdasarkan rekomendasi dari pihak apa namanya departemen-departemen terkait, sehingga dijatuhkanlah itu misalnya 1% atau kurang misalnya. Jadi saya rasa sebetulnya mengikut kepada operatornya masing-masing. Dan kalau itu sudah bagian dari regulasi pemerintah misalnya, maka kan apa namanya pemerintah berarti sudah mencanangkan misalnya bahwa setiap operator ya takaful operator itu harus berusaha keras mencapai target partisipan tertentu, sehingga angka 1% atau kurang dari 1% itu memang cukup untuk mengcover kalau ada klaim-klaim dari apa namanya partisipan yang terlibat ya. Wallahu alam, Pak Muhammad Arif ya, mudah-mudahan apa namanya bisa menjawab.
Oh, baik Pak, sudah cukup menjawab. Terima kasih banyak.
Terima kasih.
Right, thank you, Prof. Dr. Muhammad Abdul. Okay, there is another question. I think this is the last question from the chat box. In the context of Sharia economic, explain how insurance protection is used to manage moral risks and economic justice, particularly in claim situation and benefit payment. Okay.
Oke, ini pertanyaannya kayak lagi ujian ya. saya, saya lagi ujian nih kayaknya. Ya, jadi dalam konteks ekonomi syariah ya, jelaskan bagaimana apa asuransi ya, perlindungan asuransi digunakan untuk mengontrol moral ya dan economic justice ya, particularly in claim situations and benefit payments ya. Well, there's always two side of the coin ya. Memang apa namanya, when we stricten the rules, then there is a consequences, and when we basically loosen the tie, then there is also consequences. So it means that in this case ya. Explain how insurance protection is used to manage moral risk and economic justice. So, I'm not. Ini bukan pertanyaan ujiannya Pak Andreas kan ya? Jadi saya disuruh jawab ujiannya ya. Jadi STME Trisakti ya. Oke. Baik. Mungkin jawaban saya adalah bahwa selalu ada dua sisi mata uang ya dari setiap aturan yang diterapkan gitu. Jadi kita nggak bisa mengharapkan bahwa semuanya akan baik ya ketika banyak urusan asuransi, memudahkan urusan asuransi, pastinya nanti akan ada juga misalnya moral hazard dan lain-lain gitu ya. Lihat saja misalnya kalau negara-negara besar yang asuransinya, industri asuransinya juga besar, misalnya kayak di Amerika ya atau di negara-negara lain ya, banyak sekali klien-klien yang juga menipu ya, misalnya housing insurance ya, atau misalnya apa vehicle insurance ya, insurans kendaraan gitu kan, kalau kehilangan dan lain-lain gitu. Jadi kalau misalnya moral risk itu selalu ada ya, itu nggak bisa kemudian apa namanya dihilangkan ya. Seketat apapun kontrol yang diberikan, mesti ada cara untuk orang-orang tertentu itu apa namanya berlaku immoral ya. Untuk economic justice, saya rasa yang sekarang ini kan kalau di Indonesia, apalagi sudah ada micro insurance ya, kalau itu yang dimaksud ya. Micro insurance, which is basically for those who are, kalau ada istilah unbankable, so ini ada istilah uninsurable ya. Jadi apa namanya, para petani sekarang sudah bisa insurance ya, sudah bisa ngambil insurance, para nelayan juga sudah bisa insurance ya. Dan bahkan kalau di Brunei sini, orang itu nggak bisa ke laut kalau nggak punya insurance gitu ya. Jadi nelayan-nelayan kecil yang mau ke laut itu mesti menunjukkan asuransinya dulu ya, karena nanti kalau ada apa-apa bagaimana dengan keluarga yang ditinggalin gitu ya. Nah, jadi untuk negara-negara tertentu memang sudah menerapkan aturannya lebih ketat ya. Nggak bisa orang sembarangan nelayan gitu kan ke laut gitu, nggak bisa ya. Tapi mungkin kalau di Indonesia belum diterapkan semua ya, mungkin karena negaranya yang luas atau mungkin juga karena tadi awareness issues ya. Jadi orang belum aware tuh dengan istilah-istilah asuransi. Jadi nelayan pergi-pergi aja, nggak balik-balik sebulan hilang sudah gitu kan, sehingga keluarganya ya sudah dia ditinggal ya seperti itu. Nah kalau di sini ya di Brunei sini sudah ada tuh. Jadi kalau ada apa-apa terjadi di tengah laut yang kita nggak pernah tahu gitu. Nah, itu keluarganya udah langsung dapat bahwa oh ya sudah berarti nanti pihak asuransi yang akan menanggung sesuai dengan aturan yang berlaku gitu. Ya. Nah, mungkin mungkin seperti itu kali ya. Mudah-mudahan menjawab ya. Em, oh, oke. Ya, oke oke Pak Andreas ya. Uh, mm, mm. Kirain lagi ujian Pak Andreas ya.
Okay, thank you very much, Dr. Abdul. And I think it's enough for question and answer session. Okay, once again, thank you very much, Dr. Abdul, for joining with us.
Insyaallah.
Okay, I'm sure all the participants has learned a lot today. Okay, let's give a big round of applause to Dr. Muhammad Abdul. Okay, once again, thank you very much, Dr. Abdul, for your presentation and for your knowledge and for your inspiring presentation. And for all the participants, thank you so much for being a wonderful participant during this session. We also had some lively and interesting discussion and question from the participant. Thank you for your active involvement and contribution. And I hope you have enjoyed this guest lecture and gained some valuable knowledge and inspiration. Okay, from our speakers today. Once again, thank you, Dr. Abdul. Hopefully to see you again soon.
Insyaallah. Terima kasih.
Ya, terima kasih. Oke. Okay, I will return it to MC Mbak Denisa. Thank you. From me, wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam.
Okay, thank you, Ms. Papa, for conducting the session. And also thank you for Professor Dr. Muhammad Abdul for the amazing lecture today. Furthermore, we would like to present a certificate awarding for our honorable speaker, Professor Dr. Muhammad Abdul. And I would like also to invite Mr. Muhammad Jupri to give the certificate to our speaker today. And for the participants, maybe you can turn on your camera so we could take some pictures together with the speaker. Maybe I will give you about 1 minute to prepare to turn on your camera, and then we will take the picture together. Okay, while waiting for the rest of the participants to turn on the camera, maybe first we will, I would like to lead for the picture taken with Pak Ato and Prof. Dr. Muhammad Abdul. Maybe for Pak Ato and Prof. Dr. Muhammad Abdul is ready. Okay, maybe I will count from 3 to 1. Okay, 3, 2, 1. Okay, maybe for the second time, maybe for the operator also can be ready for the picture taken. Okay, maybe for the last one, for Pak Ato and Dr. Muhammad Abdul can give the gaya terbaiknya seperti itu. Oke, mungkin saya pandu lagi. 3, 2, 1. Okay, maybe that's all from for the certificate ceremony. And maybe for Professor Dr. Muhammad Abdul, once again, I would like to say thank you for the lecture given. And maybe if you have any agenda after this, maybe you can maybe you can leave the Zoom first.
Okay, thank you so much. Thank you, Mas Kato.
Excuse me.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. It is need to take picture together first before Professor Abdul. Maybe you can stay about 2 or 1 minutes more.
Okay, maybe I'll take the lead. All the participants can do all your best gestures or everything, smile. Okay, 1, 2, 3. Okay, once again, 1, 2, 3. Thank you. Go back to the.
Okay, thank you. Maybe for Professor Dr. Muhammad Abdul, if there is any agenda after this, maybe it is okay for Professor Muhammad Abdul to leave the Zoom meeting first.
Thank you. See you
Thank you so much.
Assalamualaikum and
Thank you.
good day to all of
Thank you
you.
very much.
Thank you.
Waalaikumsalam.
Okay, finally, we have reached the end of today's agenda, and we sincerely apologize for any mistake made when this agenda running, and we will also would like to say thank you to all the audience who have participated in today's guest lecture meeting. Good morning, and we would very pleased to see you again on the next agenda. Maybe I would like to also remind for all the participants to fill the attendance form links that is given in the Zoom meeting chat room. Thank you.